everyone a little bit of time to log on and get settled. I know you're probably just getting your babies to bed, but we are excited about sharing with you today about my new book called Mom Spiration. So I'm gonna pause for a moment and just let you guys get settled. So I'm very excited. I think that it will be a good talk tonight.
I think so. And it's a lot of things on your set.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So, do we have anyone logging on quite yet? Okay, cool. So you're coming. Get your friends, get your coffee, get your tea. Put a movie on for the kids if they're not already in bed. But we're going to start in just a few seconds. We're going to have 30 minutes of Mom Spiration tonight. But I just want to give you guys a little bit more time so that we don't finish before you log on. Okay, so, and this will be available for the playback, but for those that don't know, I'm Karla Marie Williams, and I am the mom of the Unschooling the Sensational Six on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you are watching this, it's because this is my book launch party, Facebook launch party for Mom Spiration, which is my newest book that I'm very excited to share with you tonight. And I have two dear friends here with me. I have Meghan, who is a new mommy, and we have Lisa, who is a mommy of 4, and 3 of which are grown, so she has a lot of wisdom to share with us. And we're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about some of the things that we enjoy the most about the book. But more than anything, I want to encourage you to get the book for yourself and for your mom friends, parents, neighbors, anybody that you want to bless for Mother's Day or after. And we'll talk a little bit later, so you got to stay tuned to the end to hear about the Mother's Day special. But I just want to welcome all of those that are logging on. We are very excited to share with you today. The reason why I wrote this book, Mom Spiration, is because as moms, sometimes we get lost. You're probably just noticing that. And you probably have had this wisdom for a long time. And I feel like I'm right in the throes of it. Sometimes we get lost in all the mommying, and we don't realize or acknowledge that God has a call on our lives as well as moms. And sometimes we are either taught or we have this innate feeling that pursuing anything outside of motherhood is selfish. And so that's what the book is about, is to basically awaken the dreams and the passions and those on the inside of moms, and to let them know it's okay to follow their dreams. And then kind of try to understand the balance between motherhood and household and taking care of your family and following those dreams, and how to know when you're out of balance, how to know when you're in balance, and everything in between. So that's why I wrote the book, honestly, because I found myself several years ago feeling, I struggled with that. I really struggled because I've always known, that God had a call on my life, but I had no idea how, after becoming a mom, that would ever happen. I had no idea. And I really did think, and I had to struggle with feelings of inadequacy. I had to struggle with feelings of watching all of my friends climb corporate ladders. And then I also had to struggle with enjoying motherhood right where I was, because I was so focused on what I wanted to do that I didn't allow myself to enjoy motherhood right where I was. And that's important too. And so in the book, we discuss a lot about timing and seasons, and how every season is not the season for you to step out and to do something magnificent and huge and, scary, but there is a season for every mom to do and to accomplish, her dreams and the call that God has on her life. So the book is just packed full of 18 mom inspirations to encourage you and to show you how not only to pursue your dreams, but how to allow that process to encourage your children to pursue theirs. So it's kind of like a dual role. As you're pursuing yours, you're helping your children, opening their eyes to the possibilities for themselves. And so that's what the book is about, is that it doesn't have, your dreams don't have to be separate from your family or separate from motherhood, but it could be something that you do together. And so that's why in the back of every chapter, I put a challenge for every mom, and then I have an activity for moms to do with their kids. So, and then obviously your husband, if you are married, is included in those challenges as well. So, but that's why I wrote the book. I felt like I know what I struggled with. I know what a lot of other moms struggle with. I've talked to a lot of moms. I've observed a lot of moms. And moms have my heart. They do, because moms are special. And we know that our moms are special to us, but sometimes we don't recognize and give ourselves the credit for how hard we work. And so I want to talk about my favorite chapter. My favorite chapter is Mom Spiration number 4, which is on page 53. And it is the Mom Spiration focuses on smiling. And there was a time where I was so focused on what I wanted to do, on the dreams that I had, and so just really irritable and not content, that I didn't allow myself to smile and enjoy my children and my family and just the moment. I didn't allow myself to be in the moment. So it just made me, I felt like I was mean because I did not enjoy life where I was at the time. And so that's my favorite chapter, because I learned how to do that. And I have to consciously do that. I have to say, you know what? No matter what I'm writing, no matter what conference is coming up, no matter what is on my plate, I have to stop and remember my children will never be this age again. And I have to just enjoy them and laugh and smile and get on the floor and play with them in the moment. Because those are the things they're going to remember. They're not going to remember your checklist. They're not going to remember your they're not going to remember your career goals. They're going to remember the time you spent with them. So that's where the balance comes in. And that's what this book is for, to kind of encourage you to balance those things out, to be able to pursue your dreams and be the mom that you want to be. So I want to have a discussion with my experts here, Meghan and Lisa. So I want to ask Meghan, being a new mom, and both of them have to be beta readers for the book, so they notes in the book. So I would really like you to kind of tell me, what was your impression of the book, or what were your favorite points?
It was interesting to read the book during motherhood. My first child is 11 weeks old, so I'm a very new mom. Very little expertise. But one thing that really stuck out to me is I was beginning early on to have some anxiety about returning to work, and what does that mean? Raising a child, but I have a career that I've always been very passionate about, and I have the opportunity to help people with a very special skill set to help them. So it really helped me look at, I can have a career and I can pursue this dream that I have, and I can still be a good mom. Mm-hmm. I can do both. And it was also good to think about, one of my favorite chapters is Let Them See You Sweat, to think about having my daughter see me work and what that means, and how she can learn from that.
That's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that. This book is not for stay-at-home moms. This book is not for homeschoolers. I know my other book has talked a lot about that. This book is for every mom, single moms, married moms, work-at-home moms, working moms, stay-at-home moms. If you are a mom, this book is for you. So I want to make sure that you know that. So what about you, Lisa? What were your favorite?
Well, I love this. On page 174, you have this great quote, and I think it just talks about the whole book, really. Oh, 147. Sorry about that. you said, can you imagine the life lessons they experienced in dreams they will dream as a result of their mother's example? And
Wow.
I just think that kind of encompasses this whole book. And I think that Mom Spiration is really what you accomplish with this book, just inspiring moms to walk through things. And I love how you gave practical examples of how to bring your kids into what you're doing. And then also you had a lot of examples too in the book of noticing your children's gifts and talents. And then you guys kind of move together, which I love that. I love, the little bits of stories that we get in the book of how you guys move together with pursuing your dreams, no matter the age of the person in your house.
Absolutely.
So I love that. And I also, you kind of mentioned too at the end of each chapter, there's a little Mom Spiration. And I love kind of a little homework assignment. And just to kind of like spurring on, like, so you read all these things that are encouraging and practical, but then there's that little thing at the end that is like, okay, this is what you can do.
I'll do something.
Yeah. And so I kind of love that, because I think it kind of ends the chapter with, okay, let's do something. And I just love that part of it.
And it made me think too about, how does this apply to me? I didn't just go on to the next chapter.
Right.
I had to pause and think, okay, what can I do with this?
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, and the things that you'll be able to do for many, many years.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you mentioned about no matter the age of your child. So you can have an infant and have the plan of how you want to do things. You can have a grown child, that's an adult, and still walk that road with them.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because I have 3 daughters who are young women. And but if I look back at when they were younger, I can see the things that they're pursuing now were things that were sparked in them when they were younger. Things that I saw in them, in their personalities, and in their gifts and talents. And
That's
so
awesome.
It's really fun to have to look back now and say, okay, if I just pay attention to those things in your kids, and you talk a lot about that in the book. So
that's awesome. It's awesome to hear. Now you see the beginning, and as the children get older and they become adults, and I'm right in the middle. My kids are 16, 15, 12, 11, and 9. And my house is on fire. It is, a lot of personality, a lot of gifts and talents, a lot of drive amongst them. And so in order to accomplish anything myself, I have to involve them. And they learn so much from it. And, again, in the book, and Lisa mentioned that you bring them alongside. You allow them to be a part of what it is that you are pursuing. And they learn so much from it. And so every single Mom Spiration or chapter includes an action. It's a call to action at the end. Tells you what they're learning through certain concepts that you are displaying in your life. And then there is an activity to do with your kids, family activity. So lots of thought-provoking things that I tried to put in there so that you didn't just read it and say, oh, okay, that was a good book.
Right.
But that book helped propel me into doing something different and recognizing that, yes, I can pursue my dreams, but I can also bring my children along with it. It doesn't have to be separate from my family. I don't have to feel guilty for doing these things, but I can bring them into part of it. So one of the things I wanted to open up the floor for questions. I don't know if we had any questions yet. Okay. So we're going to give you a few moments. We'll talk a little bit more about this while you guys get your questions together. Just type them in the comments section and she will let us know what they are. But another one of my favorite, my favorite quote, and I put it on the back of the book, is dream openly, boldly, and courageously in front of your children. And I remember I used to be really, really big on journalizing, and I would have poster boards all over my house of the things that I was dreaming of, the house I wanted to live in, the job I wanted, the places I would go in the world. And this was all pre-kid. And then it's almost like I would have vision statements and mission statements that I'd have them framed and all around the house and all that kind of thing. But once I became a mom, which was a long-term goal, by the way, because it took me a long time to become a mom, but it's like I put all of that away. And again, we talked about seasons. So there are going to be seasons where you're not pursuing anything other than, that nurturing, very precious time, when they're infants, toddlers, and that's okay. You need to know what season you're in and move when it's time. But I completely let it go, and it took me years to pick that back up. I mean, I had poster boards in the back of my closet of things that I dreamed of that I had forgotten about, things that I wanted to do with my life that I completely thought, it's not a big deal anymore. But really, I had suppressed them. It wasn't that I didn't really want them. I had suppressed them because I thought, I can't do this. I can't be a mom and do this. But once I recognized that there was a way for me to do this, and there was a way for me to still be a good mom, as Meghan said, I began to dream again. And that's really what I want moms to do. I want moms to begin to dream again if they've lost those dreams, and to begin to understand how to balance that world of dreaming and action towards your goals and your the things you want to accomplish with being a mom. And is it easy? No, it's not. I have a lot of late nights because I want to spend my days with my kids, you know? And so it takes work, and you mentioned the Mom Spiration, let them see you sweat. My kids have seen me sweat. They've seen me go without sleep some nights because I had a goal to work towards. And when they see that, they recognize, wow, things don't necessarily just come because I want them. They come because I'm working hard at them. So do we have any?
We do. On that topic, we have a question that says, you discussed in chapter 2 how often we put our dream on hold. What was your aha moment to make a change?
I'll tell you this. And shout out to James and Regina Traylor, two of my best friends in the entire world. I was challenged by them very, very early in, shortly after we adopted our first children, to start a blog. I had 3 followers, and I think they were 2 of them, and my husband was probably the 3rd. But I wrote my heart out on that little blog, and that was the beginning. And then I recognized, wow, I guess I had something to say, because that led to a radio program, which led to speaking at conferences, it just unfolded into this thing that, had you asked me like 10 years ago, I would have never. So I just started with a blog with 3 followers. It wasn't some blow up all of a sudden. Things didn't happen right away. I just had to take what I was passionate about and give it a voice in some form. So I encourage moms to do that. I mean, is it a blog? Is it a podcast? Is it writing a book? Is it, what is it that will give your dream wings? Because you have to put it in some kind of container of some kind. So like yours, be your job. You love what you do. You love helping people. And so the container is the job that you do to do that. And so you have to put it in something to be able to make it fly. So I hope that answered the question. That I started with a blog with 3 followers. And it never grew. It never grew from those 3 followers. What I noticed from it was that I had something to say. And so it was my own observation of how all of that poured out of me, that I said, wow, if I have something to say, then I need to pursue this in other ways. So what happened is that I ended up being on someone else's radio program. I don't even know how I ended up on someone's radio program, but then that led to me getting my own radio program. So, and it just.
And when I read the book, I couldn't pinpoint one thing that is my passion. I like work, but I think you can pursue passions outside of your everyday work. But your chapter showed them your faith, that even if you don't have like a passion that you're pursuing, you can teach your child about your faith. you can show them how to pursue faith, so that when that passion does come along, they know where it's coming from.
That's awesome. That's really good to know that they were created. Yeah. You know, that passion was put on the inside for a reason. Very good.
We do have another question.
Okay.
What do you think influenced you most about your mom that inspired who you are becoming?
Oh, wow. My mom. Why did someone else ask me about my mom? Oh, my mom was very, very special. And I must admit, I am sorry that I didn't recognize it as much how special she was when she was alive. Sometimes we just think about how amazing people are after they're gone. But she was very special. And what made her the most special to me was that she dealt with mental illness. And even with those struggles, she overcame. And there were many times where she refused to take her meds. But at the same time, the things that she accomplished were things that people don't accomplish without that struggle. She was able to buy her dream home. She was able to finish college. She raised us and refused to go on welfare, even though we were dirt poor. Just so many lessons of fighting. There's one of the Mom Spirations that says, let them see you fight. I saw a woman fight for us, fight for her children's future. I saw a woman dream. One of the things I tell my husband this story all the time is that when I was growing up, my mom drug us around the city to open houses of houses. To the point where after the 50th house, we were just like, we're not going to buy a house. We can't afford a house. I don't know why we're going to yet another open house. But it was always in this specific neighborhood. And she did that for 12, 15 years. As long as I can remember. The minute I left for college, guess who bought her dream home? And so it's just those kinds of things that I look back and I'm like, wow, sometimes our dream doesn't happen right away. Right. Sometimes it doesn't happen when our kids are in the house. That doesn't mean that we stop dreaming or stop planning or stop educating ourselves toward the thing that we may want to do later. So it doesn't mean, okay, I have an infant, so I have to go out and do something, or my kids are in college now, so I have to go do something. Every dream has a season, and you have to know what that season is for you. For my mom, her season took a little longer to manifest, but there were so many lessons in that. So what stood out to me mainly as far as her example in dreaming is that she overcame a lot to accomplish the things that she accomplished. So no more questions. So I did have a few questions that were sent to me via inbox that I am going to ask. One person asked whether or not this book was a sequel to Homeschool Gone Wild. And Homeschool Gone Wild is actually the book that they launched last September. And that book is, it's focused on homeschooling, but really any parent that wants to focus on their kids' passion and pursuits can benefit from the book. But no, this is not a sequel to Homeschool Gone Wild. So it's not about homeschooling. This is about mommying, which applies to millions of women all over the world. Billions, rather. And so that answers that question in case anyone else asked, wanted to know that any mom, any grandmother, anyone can benefit from this book. And then a couple of the other questions that I had was whether or not, let me see, the chapter that they were referring to. Okay. It was the second chapter, Mom Spiration 2, Dream, Let Them See You Dream. I had one person concerned that if they were at home with their children and they decided to do that and do nothing else, should they feel bad about that? No. Your life and your road and your path is your path. And any mom that makes a decision for her household, for her children, for her life. That's her decision. And I am not a person that can tell you what your season is, or when you should be dreaming, or when you should be pursuing things. So no, not at all. This book is to inspire every mom right where she is. And that can be if you are in a holding pattern, if you put a dream on hold, if you don't know what your dream is, if you don't have a specific dream, whatever it is, there's no judgment here. That you have to be where you're at and enjoy the stage of life and the season of life that you are in with your family, and move when God says move, and pay attention to what the seasons of your life include.
And I think it made me too, like you said, it can be for anyone at any season, just to be open to that inspiration when it comes, to not be afraid to pursue it if it does.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. So, does anybody have anything else they want to share? Do we have any more questions? Okay.
Where can they buy the book?
Oh, that is a very good question. The book is available on Amazon. You can look under Karla Marie Williams, or you can look under Mom Spiration, and you will find it. It's available on Amazon, but I do have a Mother's Day special, because Mother's Day is coming up very soon. So if you have several moms that you want to bless with a book, we have a Mother's Day special that I want to offer you. You cannot purchase the Mother's Day special online, though. You have to purchase it directly from me, but it's for 4 signed copies of Mom Spiration for $45, which if you purchased 4 online, it would be $65. So it's a $20 discount, which is pretty steep. So, but I wanted to do that for moms because I think moms are awesome. And so if you do want to take advantage of that Mother's Day special, it will be available between now and Mother's Day. It's 4 books for $45, and you can inbox me at Unschooling the Sensational 6, and I will get your information and get those books out to you. Otherwise, you can purchase it on Amazon. Any others? Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. We're going to have cake, and I'm sorry you can't have cake with us, but we'll be thinking of all of you while we're eating cake. I really, really pray that the book was, that this was informational for you, and that I pray that the book is a blessing to you, to your family, to your future, to your dreams. And that if you do have any further questions about the book or Unschooling the Sensational 6, then you can feel free to inbox me there as well. Until next time, I want to say thank you to everybody that showed up. Thank you to everyone that is watching the replay. I hope this was a blessing to you, and we will see you later. Bye.